Hey guys, it's Memorizer92, and today I'm gonna cover possible builds that Glaivier can go for. Since this is a quick summary, I'm gonna go briefly on each build. If you want more detail, you can refer to my Glaivier videos in my channel. Of course, things like engraving, tripod, runes are not fixed, so you can customize some of the sets that fit your style. Then let's get started. This build is Pinnacle class engraving with specialization and swiftness, mastering 5 blue skills and 2 red skills. Swiftness build runs red skills with guaranteed crit tripod, since the identity buff raises crit rate for blue skills as well. The higher you invest in specialization, the higher the crit rate rises as well, which means this build doesn't need crit stat at all. Also, since this build doesn't heavily rely on back attack, you can position freely with high crit rate, which makes DPS consistent and stabilized. For the gear set, if you're looking for the Argos gear set, then you wanna go for the one that raises your crit damage, not the crit rate. And if you're looking for the Relic gear set, then you wanna go for either two. Number 1, Redemption set that raises your damage and attack speed. Number 2, Nightmare set that raises your restoration of mana and damage. Well, it doesn't matter which one to go, it just matters on your playstyle. For the engraving, you wanna go like this: Grudge, Keen Blunt Weapon, Curse Doll, Pinnacle, and Mass Increase. When it comes to skills, you wanna run Chain Slash, which is a DPS skill with this tripod. Flash Kick, which is a movement skill with this tripod. Half Moon Slash, which is a DPS skill with this tripod. Raging Dragon Slash, which is a DPS skill with this tripod. Wheel of Blaze, which is a DPS skill with this tripod. Shackling Blue Dragon, which is a synergy skill with this tripod. Starfall Pounce, which is a DPS skill with this tripod. Red Dragon's Horn, which is a DPS skill with this tripod. And lastly, if you are running a Nightmare set, then you wanna run this one, which is called Spear Meteor. Well, technically, Storming Red Dragon is stronger than this one, but when you run Nightmare set, the buff from the Nightmare set applies right after the last hit of the Storming Red Dragon. But if you run this one, the Spear Meteor, the Nightmare buff applies before it explodes. So you can get the buff for the damage of the Spear Meteor. That's why you want to run this one if you're running the Nightmare set. But if not, like if you're running the Redemption set, then you should run this one because technically this is stronger than this one. When it comes to the runes, you want Gale, Conviction, and Judgment runes. Well, for the Conviction and Judgment rune, you want to run Conviction on half Moon Slash and Judgment on Wheel of Blaze. For the Gale Wings, you want to run one on the Chain Slash and other two on the red skills, the Starfall Pounce and Red Dragon's Horn. Well, if you run Nightmare set, then since you get lots of restoration of mana, you don't actually have to run the Conviction and Judgment rune. Instead, you can go for other runes. The next build is also Pinnacle specialization and swiftness build, but with 4 blue skills and 3 red skills. When compared with previous one, by using additional red skill that guarantees crit, you get more consistency on DPS, but you lose the potential. What I mean is like if your character is not invested much, like it's under 1415 or like 1445 with low level tripods, gems, low stats, less engravings, etc., then 3 and 4 is better since your DPS get compensated by running 3 guarantee crit skills. But when things get invested, 5 and 2 is better since some of the blue skills can be used twice before you switch over to the red stance. The gear set is same. If you want to run Argos gear set, then you want to look for the crit damage. If you're looking for the relic sets, you should go either Redemption or Nightmare. When it comes to engravings, you want to run Grudge, Keen Blunt Weapon, Cursed Doll, Raid Captain, and Pinnacle. The reason why you want to run Raid Captain over Mass Increase compared to the previous build is that in Red Stance, you can get the movement speed buff from the identity buff, right? And since you're running 3 red skills rather than running 2, you get the higher benefit by running the Raid Captain. For the skills, you wanna run Chain Slash, which is a DPS skill with this tripod, and Flash Kick, which is a movement skill with this tripod, Half Moon Slash, which is a DPS skill with this tripod, and Raging Dragon Slash, which is a DPS skill with this tripod, and the Shackling Blue Dragon, which is a synergy skill with this tripod. And if you see the red skills, you wanna run Thrust of Destruction, which is a DPS skill with this tripod, and Starfall Pounce, which is a DPS skill with this tripod, and lastly, Red Dragon's Horn, which is a DPS skill with this tripod. Well, for the Awakenings, it's same as the previous one. If you're running the Nightmare, you wanna run this one, the Spear Meteor. If not, you wanna run this one, the Storming Red Dragon. When it comes to the runes, you wanna run Galewing runes on all these red skills since there are some charging skills and holding skills as well. And for other runes, like same as before, you wanna run Conviction and Judgment rune. Well, since you're in this build, like in my case, I'm not running this skill, right? The Wheel of Blade. So in this case, you can run Conviction on the Half Moon Slash and Judgment rune on this Chain Slash. And if you're running Nightmare set, then you don't have to run Conviction and Judgment rune. The next build is Pinnacle Specialization and Crit build with 4 blue skills and 3 red skills. The biggest difference between Crit Specialization build and Swiftness Specialization build is that this build does not use guaranteed crit tripod on red skills. Instead, it goes for the tripod that increases the damage, which is in the same line. This means this build has higher potential and most likely you will have to heavily rely on back attacking because not going for a guaranteed crit means you need to get the crit rate as much as possible. And since back attack in Lost Ark gives you 10% more crit rate, which is huge, most of the sets for this build is focused on back attack. If you hit the red skills as back attack and if it crits a lot, this build can outdamage the previous 2 builds. If not, it will be weaker. So you can say that this build is unstable and the better the player is, the better you can pull out the DPS. For the gears, if you're looking for the Argos set, you wanna go for the one that raises your crit rate, not the crit damage. And if you're looking for the relic set, you wanna go for the one that's called Deadland or Land of Extinction, which raises your crit damage, crit rate, and damage when you back attack. When it comes to engravings, one of the possible engraving sets can be like this: Grudge, Keen Blunt Weapon, Ambush Master, Pinnacle, and All Out Attack. The reason why you can run All Out Attack is because this build uses 4 holding skills, and it has the most holding skills out of all the builds that Glaivier can go for. The first one is Awakening skill, and one is in the blue stance called Half Moon Slash, and the other 2 are in the red stance. Well, Red Dragon's Horn, and the last one is Four-Headed Dragon. If you see the skills, you wanna run Chain Slash, which is a DPS skill with this tripod, and Flash Kick, which is a movement skill with this tripod. Half Moon Slash, which is a DPS skill with this tripod. Raging Dragon Slash, which is a DPS skill with this tripod. And Shackling Blue Dragon, which is a synergy skill with this tripod. And if you see the red skills, you wanna run Four-Headed Dragon, which is a DPS skill with this tripod. Starfall Pounce, which is a DPS skill with this tripod, and Red Dragon's Horn, which is a DPS skill with this tripod. And as I told you guys before, unlike the 2 builds previously, these 2 skills are not gonna run the guaranteed crit tripod. For Starfall Pounce, this is the guaranteed crit tripod, but it will run this one that increases the damage. And for Red Dragon's Horn, it will run this tripod that increases damage instead of this one that guarantees crit. And if you see the Awakenings, you want to run this one for sure, because since it's a holding skill, you can get the benefit from All Out Attack. When it comes to the runes, you want to run Galewing runes on Red Dragon's Horn, Starfall Pounce, and Chain Slash. And you also want to run Conviction and Judgment rune as well. In this build, in my case, I run the Conviction on the Half Moon Slash and Judgment on the Raging Dragon Slash. Control class engraving build. Control build can only use blue stance, which is the flurry stance, which means it doesn't need any specialization stat. So each of the skills have less damage compared to Pinnacle builds, but by investing a lot of swiftness, it can increase the DPS by relying on the high cooldown reduction. And it shows high potential by hitting back attack. For the gear set, if you're going for Argo set, then you want to go for the set that increases your crit rate, not the crit damage, crit rate. And if you're going for the Relic gear set, then you want to go for the Relic set that's called either like Deadland or Land of Extinction, which increases the critical damage, crit rate, and damage of back attack skills. For the possible engraving sets, Grudge, Ambush Master, Raid Captain, Control, and Adrenaline. For skills, you want to run Chain Slash, which is a DPS skill with this tripod. Stampeding Slash, which is DPS skill with this tripod. Vault Kick, which is a counter skill with this tripod. Half Moon Slash, which is a DPS skill with this tripod. Raging Dragon Slash, which is a DPS skill with this tripod. Will of Blaze, which is a DPS skill with this tripod. Wind Splitter, which is a DPS skill with this tripod. And finally, Shackling Blue Dragon, which is a synergy skill with this tripod. And for the Awakening skill, you want to run this one, which is called Storming Red Dragon. When it comes to the runes, it's better to have Gale Wing runes and Conviction and Judgment rune. Well, in my case, I run Conviction rune on the Half Moon Slash and Judgment rune on Will of Blaze, because these two skills does hits multiple times, which allows me to activate the conviction and judgment effect. And for the Gale runes, I use it on Chain Slash, Stampeding Slash, and this one right here, Wind Splitter, because these three skills are skills that have long motions. Well guys, that's all for this video. If you liked the video, please hit subscribe and follow my Twitch stream where you can find lots of information. Thank you so much for watching and see you guys on the next video. Bye bye.